your house smells like a dog, or a cat, or both. And the worst part is, you've tried everything. The fancy enzyme cleaners that cost $25 a bottle, the carpet powders that promise to eliminate odors at the source, the plug-in air fresheners running in every room, those expensive pet odor candles that smell great for an hour and then just mix with the pet smell to create something even worse. Pet owners spend an average of $40 to $60 per month on odor control products. That's $500 to $700 per year trying to make homes not smell like animals. And most of those products don't actually eliminate odors, they mask them. They cover up the smell temporarily with strong fragrances, but the underlying odor is still there, which is why the smell comes back within hours or days. The pet care industry is worth over $130 billion globally. A significant chunk of that is odor control products. Sprays, powders, diffusers, special vacuum filters, carpet treatments, fabric refreshers. There's an entire aisle in every pet store dedicated to making houses smell less like pets. And here's what nobody tells you. Most of those products are built on the same basic chemistry that can be recreated at home for about $3 total. Professional carpet cleaners know this. Veterinary offices know this. Commercial cleaning services know this. But they don't advertise it because there's no money in telling people they can solve their problem with 2 ingredients from the grocery store. The profit is in selling specialized products month after month, year after year. So here's what actually eliminates pet odors, not masks them, not covers them up temporarily, actually breaks down and removes the organic compounds that create the smell in the first place. White vinegar and baking soda. That's it. 2 of the most basic household items available. And when used correctly, they create a chemical reaction that neutralizes odors at the molecular level rather than just covering them with fragrance. Most people use these ingredients wrong. They either use them separately, or they mix them together in the wrong ratio, or they apply them to the wrong surfaces in the wrong way. The method matters. The chemistry only works if the application is done properly. Let's talk about why pet odors are so stubborn in the first place. When a dog or cat has an accident, or when their fur oils get into fabric, or when litter box smell permeates a room, what's being smelled is organic compounds. Uric acid, bacteria, ammonia, sulfur compounds. These aren't just sitting on the surface. They soak into carpet fibers, upholstery foam, wood subflooring, drywall, anywhere porous. And once they're in there, surface cleaning doesn't touch them. Traditional cleaners try to deal with this in 2 ways. Enzymatic cleaners use proteins that theoretically break down organic matter. Oxidizing cleaners use chemicals like hydrogen peroxide to break molecular bonds. Both can work to some degree, but they're expensive and they often require multiple applications. A single bottle of quality enzymatic pet cleaner costs $20 to $30 and might last 2 weeks in a multi-pet household. Then there are odor masking products. These don't clean anything. They just add strong fragrances that temporarily overpower pet smells. The problem is, noses adapt to consistent scents. After a few days, the air freshener isn't noticeable anymore. But the pet odor underneath it still is. So more products get purchased, stronger scents, multiple types running simultaneously. And homes end up smelling like tropical breeze mixed with wet dog, which somehow smells worse than just wet dog. Here's what white vinegar does. Vinegar is acetic acid. It has a pH of around 2.5, which makes it acidic. Most pet odors, especially urine, are alkaline. When an acid is applied to an alkaline substance, there's a neutralization reaction. The acid doesn't just cover the smell. It chemically alters the compounds creating the smell, breaking them down into less odorous or non-odorous molecules. This is actual chemistry, not marketing. Baking soda is sodium bicarbonate. It's amphoteric, which means it can act as either an acid or a base, depending on what it's mixed with. When combined with vinegar, it creates a fizzing reaction that produces carbon dioxide gas. This fizzing action has physical benefits beyond the chemistry. It lifts debris, pushes the cleaning solution deeper into porous materials, and helps break apart the organic matter that holds odors. But here's the critical part that most people get wrong. Vinegar and baking soda can't just be dumped together in a bucket and poured on carpet. That wastes the reaction. The fizzing happens immediately when they mix, and by the time it's applied, the chemical action is mostly spent. What's left is slightly acidic, salty water that doesn't do much. The correct method uses these ingredients in sequence, not simultaneously. This is what professional cleaners do, but won't tell customers, because this knowledge eliminates the need for their services in most cases. For carpet odors, especially pet accidents, here's the actual process. First, remove any solid waste and blot up as much liquid as possible if it's a fresh accident. Don't rub. Blotting lifts moisture out. Rubbing pushes it deeper. Use paper towels or old rags. Press firmly and hold for several seconds. Replace with fresh towels and repeat until no more moisture transfers. Second, saturate the area with undiluted white vinegar. Not a light spray. Saturate it. The vinegar needs to reach everywhere the urine reached. If urine soaked down to the carpet backing and pad, the vinegar needs to get there too. pour it on. Use enough that it's spreading through the carpet fibers. Let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes. During this time, the acetic acid is neutralizing the alkaline compounds in the urine, breaking down uric acid crystals, and killing odor-causing bacteria. Third, blot up excess vinegar. Not all of it needs to be removed, but the surface liquid should be lifted so the carpet isn't soaking wet. This also removes the dissolved odor compounds that the vinegar broke down. Fourth, and this is the key step, sprinkle a generous layer of baking soda over the entire area, not a light dusting. A visible layer, maybe 1/8 of an inch thick. The baking soda will start reacting with the remaining vinegar in the carpet. There will be some fizzing if there's enough vinegar left. This reaction creates that deep cleaning action that lifts remaining odor particles. But baking soda also does something else. It's a desiccant. It absorbs moisture, and it's alkaline, which helps neutralize any remaining acidic compounds. Fifth, let it sit. Not for 20 minutes. Let it sit for at least 8 hours, preferably 24. This is where most people fail. They sprinkle baking soda and vacuum it up an hour later because they want their carpet to look normal again. But the baking soda needs time to absorb all the moisture, draw out remaining odor compounds, and completely dry out the area. Odor can't exist without moisture. Bacteria that create odor can't survive without moisture. Drying is half the battle. After 24 hours, vacuum thoroughly. Use multiple passes. The baking soda will have clumped as it absorbed moisture, and all of it needs to be pulled out along with the odor compounds it captured. If dealing with a severe odor or an old stain, repeat the entire process. Sometimes one application isn't enough if urine has been sitting in carpet padding for weeks or months. Now let's talk about upholstery. Couches, chairs, pet beds, anything with fabric that's absorbed pet odors. The same chemistry applies, but the method adjusts slightly because upholstery usually can't be saturated the way carpet can without damaging the furniture or creating mold issues. For upholstery, mix a solution of 1 part white vinegar to 1 part water in a spray bottle. Spray the affected area until it's damp but not soaking. Work the solution into the fabric with a brush or fingers. Let it sit for 10 minutes. Then blot with a clean towel. Don't skip the blotting. It removes dissolved odor compounds. After blotting, sprinkle baking soda over the area. Not as thick as on carpet, but a visible dusting. Let it sit for several hours or overnight, then vacuum it up. For leather furniture, vinegar works, but skip the baking soda. Leather is less porous than fabric, and baking soda can be abrasive. After cleaning with diluted vinegar and blotting dry, treat the leather with a conditioner to prevent it from drying out. Hard surfaces are even easier. For tile, wood, laminate, anywhere a pet has had an accident, spray undiluted white vinegar directly on the area. Let it sit for a few minutes. Wipe it up. Then sprinkle baking soda on the same spot. Add just a tiny bit of water to activate the fizzing. Scrub with a brush or sponge. This works incredibly well on grout lines and textured surfaces where urine can seep into tiny cracks. Rinse with water and dry. Litter boxes are another major odor source. Most people scoop daily and do a full clean weekly, but the smell still builds up in the box itself, especially plastic boxes, which are slightly porous and absorb odors over time. Here's how to deep clean a litter box using this method. Empty all litter. Rinse the box with hot water. Then pour white vinegar all over the inside of the box. Use a scrub brush to work it into every corner and scratch mark. Let it sit for 10 minutes. Dump the vinegar. Sprinkle baking soda inside the box. Add a small amount of hot water to create a paste. Scrub again. This combination removes the odor that's actually absorbed into the plastic. Rinse thoroughly and dry completely before adding fresh litter. For general room odors, like a room that just smells like pet even though there's no specific stain, place bowls of white vinegar around the room. The vinegar will absorb airborne odor molecules. Leave them overnight. Then remove the bowls and sprinkle baking soda on the carpet. Leave it for several hours or overnight. Vacuum. This refreshes the entire space. Now, let's address the obvious question. Doesn't vinegar smell terrible? Yes, initially. Vinegar has a sharp, acidic smell that's pretty unpleasant, but here's the difference. Vinegar smell dissipates completely as it dries, usually within a few hours. It doesn't linger the way pet odors linger, and once it's gone, so are the pet odors. It's not trading one bad smell for another. It's trading a permanent pet smell for a temporary vinegar smell that disappears. If the vinegar smell is too much, add a few drops of essential oil to the vinegar solution. Lavender and eucalyptus work well. This gives a light, pleasant scent during the cleaning process without interfering with the chemistry. But honestly, once people see how well this works, the temporary vinegar smell becomes a non-issue. Cost comparison. A gallon of white vinegar costs about $3. A box of baking soda costs about $1. With these two items, dozens of pet accidents can be treated, multiple pieces of furniture can be deep cleaned, entire rooms can be refreshed, and an odor-free home can be maintained for months. Compare that to a single bottle of enzymatic cleaner at $25 that might last 2 weeks. The economics are absurd. The reason cleaning companies and product manufacturers don't advertise this method is obvious. There's no money in it. If everyone knew that $3 worth of grocery store items could eliminate the need for $50 a month in specialty products, an entire market segment collapses. Professional carpet cleaners charge $100 to $300 for pet odor treatment. They're using industrial versions of the same chemistry, sometimes with added fragrances and protectants. But the core cleaning action comes from acid-base reactions and absorption, the same things vinegar and baking soda provide. This method also works for other organic odors: sweat in gym clothes, mildew in towels, smoke smell in fabric, cooking odors in kitchen fabrics, garbage can smells. Basically, if bacteria or organic compounds are creating an odor, this chemistry can neutralize it. The applications go way beyond just pet odors. For washing machines that have developed a musty smell, pour 2 cups of white vinegar into the drum and run a hot cycle with no clothes. Then, sprinkle half a cup of baking soda in the drum and run another hot cycle. This cleans out the hidden areas where mold and bacteria accumulate, especially in front-loading machines where water can get trapped in the rubber seal. For gym bags and shoes that smell like sweat, spray the inside with a vinegar water solution. Let it air dry. Then sprinkle baking soda inside and let it sit overnight. Shake it out in the morning. The combination breaks down the bacteria that create sweat odor. For trash cans that smell even after the bag is changed, spray the inside with undiluted vinegar. Let it sit for a few minutes. Wipe it out. Then, sprinkle baking soda in the bottom of the can before putting in a new bag. The baking soda continues to absorb odors as new trash accumulates. For carpets that just smell stale or musty, even without pet accidents, sprinkle baking soda liberally over the entire carpet. Let it sit for several hours or overnight. Vacuum thoroughly. Then lightly mist the carpet with a vinegar water solution. Don't soak it, just a light mist. Let it air dry. The combination refreshes the carpet fibers and neutralizes embedded odors. One important note: this method works on odors. It does not remove stains. If there's a visible stain along with an odor, additional stain treatment may be needed after odor removal. Hydrogen peroxide works well for organic stains on light-colored fabrics. For carpets, a mixture of dish soap, hydrogen peroxide, and baking soda can tackle both stains and odors when applied as a paste and worked into the stain with a brush. Another note: this method requires the cleaning solution to reach the odor source. If urine has soaked through carpet into the subfloor, surface treatment won't fully eliminate the smell. In severe cases, carpet might need to be pulled back to treat the padding and subfloor directly. This is rare, but it happens in homes where pets have had repeated accidents in the same spot for years. No amount of surface cleaning fixes that. The subfloor itself needs treatment. For prevention, address accidents immediately. The faster a pet accident is treated, the less it penetrates, and the easier it is to eliminate completely. Fresh accidents clean up in minutes. Week-old accidents that have dried and crystallized into carpet padding take multiple treatments. But even old, set-in odors respond to this method with patience. The vinegar and baking soda method isn't magic, it's chemistry. It's the same chemistry that expensive products use, just without the branding, fragrance, and markup. Understanding why it works helps with using it correctly and adjusting the method for different situations. Acid neutralizes alkaline odors, fizzing action lifts and penetrates, absorption removes moisture and trapped particles. These principles apply universally. Pet owners often feel embarrassed about how their homes smell. They worry about guests noticing. They spend hundreds of dollars trying to fix the problem with products that don't work. And the whole time, the solution costs $3 and has been sitting in the cleaning aisle of every grocery store. This information should be common knowledge, but it's not. Because there's an entire industry built on people not knowing. An industry that profits from recurring purchases of products that provide temporary relief but never solve the underlying problem. An industry that has zero incentive to educate consumers about permanent solutions. But now this information is available. The method is simple. The ingredients are cheap, the results are permanent. And the knowledge can be shared with anyone dealing with pet odors, saving them hundreds of dollars and countless hours of frustration. This $3 solution has eliminated the need for an entire category of household products. No more monthly spending on odor control. No more plugins and sprays and powders that don't work. Just vinegar, baking soda, and the knowledge of how to use them properly. That knowledge is worth hundreds of dollars per year in saved spending. And it actually works better than the products it replaces.